Everyone, welcome to another episode of Independent Artists Unite song series. I'm super psyched. Finally, Blood Twin has agreed to come on the program. Welcome.
Hello, thanks for having me, Scott. I really appreciate you having me on the show. I'm a fan, as we was just saying beforehand, before we started properly. Uh, I'm a fan of this show. I watch it on YouTube. It's great.
Well, I'm a fan. Tonight we're going to talk about. I'm a fan of Blood Twin, but I'm really a fan of. I'm not sure. Right?
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
That was a little theatre there.
Yes, exactly. I have a
Jolly
theatrical
old
background.
England.
So
Yeah.
I have a theatrical background, actually. But anyway, sorry.
I am too. We can talk about that.
Yeah, this is theatrical.
This song is so fucking good, man. This is like time and time again on this show, I come across people. I wish there was something I could do to like make a song a hit because this is a hit song.
Well, you think so?
It's so rocking. It's got such a great groove. It's got such great lyrics, and you just like sing the hell out of it. I mean, and it sounds like it's you do everything yourself, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it really sounds like a band rocking, which is not easy to do.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, it's just like I, I I wouldn't say I'm a multi instrumentalist. I mean, I do everything in the box, as I believe you said you said
Yeah,
before on your
yeah.
shows. But yeah, I I don't know what to say apart from thank you very much.
Well, I'm just wondering, is it
that's such
hard
a
to?
compliment.
Because I'm just wondering if it's hard. I mean, sometimes I get challenged if I want to like get something really rocking when it's just me sitting there. You know what I mean? But this is
Yeah.
like this song is really rocking, and it just seems like
Well, sorry.
it would be challenging to do just on your own to keep that kind of energy up. But it really has got this like live energy. It's really sizzling.
Well, it wasn't easy, but I mean, I don't know the way this evolved. I came out of the session with like a kind of motto: you got to let it groove, let it groove.
Mm,
I
yeah.
don't know, like with my other songs, I don't know. I mean, I'm working on something at the moment that I'm letting breathe a bit more, so to speak. You know, I don't know. It just evolved that way. So like, I just really left it open and went free with it. How can I say? I'm trying to get myself across properly here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know. It's something that evolved. Like
I mean,
it
do
was,
you have a history of like playing in bands previously?
yeah.
Yeah,
So like
maybe that's what you've been able to transfer that kind of energy.
maybe, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, they never got very far.
Mm, mm, mm.
They
Wow,
always
that's
kind of,
tough business. Woo.
yeah, kind of was ended before they began.
Yeah.
Quite literally, sometimes it'd be like, "Hey, let's get together. Let's have one
For like
rehearsal."
for
And
like
then
1 week there, you're really having fun.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what happened sometimes. I mean, yeah, I had a long break from anything, artistic. I mean, acting helps coming from like a
Mm,
theatrical background. Like I've been since about 4 or 6. my uh,
wow.
my
Okay.
my mum kind of not pushed me into it. I don't want to say that, but like you
Stage
know,
mom.
she saw something within me,
Yeah.
that some kind of confidence that I guess because I was only a kid in the family, so it's like I grew up around grown
Okay.
ups. So
Okay.
I don't know. So yeah, the acting background helps, and yeah, there was a lot of like I had an 11-year break where I actually become um, to say pain in the ears quote. I was because I was watching that video you did with him, and I was like saying to myself, I called myself a consumer. Like I don't create. I'm not an
Mm,
artist. I don't make. I consume. And for that 11-year period, I was content and happy to just consume.
mm,
But then a couple of years ago, it's really strange because um, during COVID, a lot of people say, "Oh yeah, that's when I started. And that was, when I got creative."
Yeah.
For me, I did. I recorded one song maybe, which unfortunately lost the bloody files to. I did it in GarageBand
Okay.
because I'm not really a very technical person. But well,
Mhm.
it depends. I know what I know. A lot of people say like, "Oh, I use Pro Logic and I use Ableton and I use whatever." A lot of those are kind of alien to me and too fiddly. It's like Photoshop, if we're talking,
Mm,
because I'm a visual artist as well as
mm.
I run a page called Naturally on Instagram, and don't freak out. But I started. Sorry, got a lot going on, but sorry. I'll let you get a word in edgeways.
No, no, no. This is yeah. It's very interesting. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
You kind of
So
talking about the like genesis of Blood Twin. That's what I was
yeah.
interested in. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, two 2 years ago, I I don't know where it was. It's strange. Like I said, during COVID, a lot of people started doing stuff, and I just enjoyed lockdown. Everyone else hated it. I won't say it did affect my mental health in some ways, but
Mm,
they weren't really apparent at the time, and they affected my physical health. I'd say more than anything.
mm,
I live with my partner, so like we have each other to keep each other company.
mm-hmm.
Sorry, trying to get back to the point. I do talk around the houses because I've got so much to say. But no, basically, 2 years ago I started with my visual art stuff, and I just posted it on Instagram. I just started uploading some stuff, like all new stuff, nothing old, that I've done in the
Mm.
past. Um, and then from that, I don't know why, I just thought, you know what, this is quite good. People are responding well to my visual art. Why don't I get back into doing some music again? So
Mm.
I did, and basically I started doing, because with Naturally, it's like a twin project. I don't know if you know about it or not, but
No, no, I haven't seen that, but I'll check it out. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I with that I'm really free. Not that I'm not free with Blood Twin, but with Blood Twin, I just had a vision, and Blood Twin only started nearly less than 6 months ago, and
Wow. Yeah, I was gonna say one not too long ago, right? Yeah.
yeah, so September 23rd, I think. I really don't know, but that's when I brought out my first single in September of last year.
Yeah.
But before that, as I was saying, I was experimenting, and I still experiment. Basically, naturally, is I do whatever the hell I like, which I do with Blood Twin, but the Blood Twin I had the vision for. I just wanted to
Mm.
blend
It was
all
like a
my
certain
favorite genres.
genre thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas with Naturally, I'm doing like metal, industrial metal. Not that I wouldn't, industrial and goth with
Mm.
this, but it's different. But yeah, and I did just like a standard rock song as well. But I thought, right, let's do like a cold wave kind of song.
Mm.
So I tried to cold wave, dark wave, and I made this song called My Fried Brain, which actually is about my fried brain because my memory is awful.
I
Uh,
also have a fried brain, by the way. Yeah.
yeah, well, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I, I have a fried brain. I'm having it now. But I made that track, and off of that, I was like, yeah, this is really good. Actually, I'm quite good at this. Well, I thought so, and I thought, you know what? I don't know. It just come to me to do a specific project based on that track. So that was kind of the genesis. Excuse me, the genesis of it, the origin.
Mm.
Long way getting around to explaining it, but hope you should edit this. I think, and there's and
No,
there's only
no, this
half
is
an
good
hour
stuff,
Google.
man.
So just rambling on.
This is
I've
good stuff.
raced
I
them.
think it's inspiring to hear, for people to hear how things get started, and the process, and that moment when you just jump in and say, "Yeah, I'm doing this,"
Yeah, I don't know. I just thought I just had this vision. I was like, I don't know. I couldn't even put it into words. It's just like, yes, this blood twin, because the name, I don't know if you want to know where it came from, but
Yeah, yeah.
there was this. I've got my notes here. I've got my phone. Because I'm terrible. I've got a fried brain. Yeah. So I don't know if you saw this meme on the internet that was going around. It's what's your goth band? I
Oh
don't know.
yeah,
No, no,
yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
blacked out on the screen anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's got a picture of Robert Smith either side, and it's like goes by birth month and first initial of your name, and that came out in like 2019
Yeah.
by a guy called Never Stay Dead. He does artwork online. He's called Phil Wall.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that had been in my head because my name was Blood Twins.
Oh
And
wow.
I'm not a twin. I have no siblings that I know of. I always say, I always say it's a really stupid thing because I'm not the thinnest of people, but I say my twin in the womb, quite morbid. So anyway, I took the S off, and I'm not blood twins. I'm blood twin. So there's a bit of confusion, which is kind of funny, and I like to try and keep things mysterious anyway. But people are saying, oh, is there two of you? Are you one of the twins? I was like, no, no, it's blood twin, just the singular. So I took the plural, made it singular.
Yeah.
So that's how I come up with the name. And I didn't come up with the name. That meme came up with the name. It just happened to be a little formula.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I had it in my
I
head.
did that one too. I can't remember what
Oh,
mine
yeah.
was, but yeah.
Well, I had it in my head for a while. I don't know when I first saw it, but it's got to be at least a year or two, maybe, before I
Yeah.
actually, I just had it written down and make lots of notes. So.
Have you told that guy that you actually took your
Do you
band
know
name
what?
from?
Do you know what? Hello, Mr. Wall. I did actually make a story, and I tagged him and everything, but maybe he
No
didn't see it.
response.
I don't know. No, no, no. But I do comment. I have commented on his original post because I went to the effort of tracking it down. See, I'm very OCPD. I've got obsessive compulsive personality, and when I want to do something, I focus and I go for it.
Yeah.
And I went on Google Images and I found where was this first posted? Who was the first person? So I tracked it down to his because I probably could see his post. It was
Yeah.
whoever else shared it. But yeah, I
Yeah.
commented on that. I was like, mine's blood twin. And yeah, no response. I also shared my story, but maybe didn't see it. So maybe he
I
sees it.
always hate that when people don't respond when you tag them and stuff like that. I'm like, are we doing this or not? Come on.
Yeah. I mean, I've done artwork and, I obviously, that was the thing. I was using other people's music and I still do. I haven't posted anything artwork wise in ages. I've got stuff. It's just, this has taken over because this has become so popular, more popular than naturally. And so I'm just going with, what's popular, what people like the most. But then again, to be fair, I do like dabbling here and there, but I don't know. It feels like home at the moment. But I've got obsessive compulsive personality disorder, so like I say, once I focus in on something, I really focus in on something. But yeah, and I can't stop talking.
Oh, that's quite all right. But now let's talk about not sure like how the how did it start? Did you get that kind of groove first? A bow, 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 or
Yes, yeah, that's it. That's the answer. No, no. Yeah. So obviously, like you make some instrumentals, and when I was making Dark Bloodlands and I don't even know the names of my own songs. No Place to Hide.
oh, yeah, neither do I.
Yeah. um, well, when I was making them, well, just before that, I just do a lot of instrumentals and forget about them. Much like I said, I was agreeing with what
Oh,
Pain
what
in the
James was
Gates was
saying.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
exactly. Yeah, and sometimes stuff's left for longer. But anyway, so when I before I started making Dark Bloodlands, before I chose, yeah, this is the track I'm gonna try and develop.
Mhm.
I had actually made that, but then I came back to it, and it was just the bass line. The bass line was the thing, the hook
Mm.
for me,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
because I listened to like dark wave, goth, whatever you want to call it. I always find genres really strange and hard to define, and I'll probably get into that later because this track's been remixed. I don't know if you know.
Yeah, I did listen to that. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But we get into that if we've got time. But yeah, so with this, it was the bass line. It was just like I was just messing about. I wanted to make something that was. I mean, it's obvious. If I ask you the question, who inspired me? It was like Peter Hook, Simon Gallup. You know, it's that kind of
Okay, yeah,
that 1980 or 1979, 1980 kind of sound. And it's
yeah.
quite interesting because a forest is kind of, I would say, a touchstone. That's kind of like a bit of an inspiration. But a forest itself is like a very electronic track anyway. So I
Mm.
like to mix, like I say, I like to mix that. But I got inspired. I was like, yeah, I listen to a lot of modern dark wave, and I'm like, they all kind of do this really good, like these deep bass lines, these prominent bass lines, that really get you in and get you grooving. And I think She Wants Revenge was like an inspiration as well, especially. Well, I don't know if you're talking about musically or lyrically, but
Yeah, well, I was just
it's a
thinking about
nostalgic
the
sound.
music. I was imagining you starting actually, yeah, with that bass line, that because and but the thing is like a lot of the bands that you mentioned, it does fit in that kind of universe, but the vocals are like really interesting. It's more like
Yeah,
you don't hear that kind of energy in vocals usually from that. And like at the top of your range, kind of almost like a Jim Morrison thing or like Ian
yeah.
Astbury from the Cult, or so
That's
it's
such a
kind of
compliment to say that. Obviously, yeah, I love those guys.
yeah.
Yeah, the Cult, the Doors. I mean, to me, the Doors is
I mean,
everyone says, where did
yeah,
you
I'm just
begin?
curious without because I'm such a fan of this vocal, man. I think it's a really great vocal. And I think if you're like fan of this music and you're like sitting down there, and just like making music for yourself, I could just imagine you kind of going like, I'm not sure, you know, anymore. And then when you come out with it, I'm not sure, it just feels great.
Well, I mean, the funny thing about the track is I had that music, so I'm in the kitchen and making coffee in the morning, making toast, whatever. And while I'm doing that, I'm sad. Well, you've got to do it. You've got to play your own music. So
Right,
that's
yeah,
my time. Like when I get a chance to listen to my own music, and it's like, okay, listen to my music, and what comes comes. So
yeah,
I'm not sure. It's terrible now. I was
yeah.
listening about, well, there's vocal effects. There's tricks of the trade and all that business. But
Okay, so it was kind of dancing around the kitchen with it coming over the speakers and
well, yeah. Do you know what? It's on my bloody phone, my silly little phone. I was just, So I'm listening, and I'm just like, whatever comes, comes. And
yeah,
it was like, I'm not sure, and I don't know, and I really wasn't sure about the song. I wasn't sure about the lyrics. It's just riffing, I was just like scatting, not scatting, you know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
And I thought to myself, there's a deeper meaning behind it, but these things are subconscious as well. And sometimes you channel stuff, and sometimes it's just whatever pops into your head,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you make a mess, and then afterwards you say, "Yes, this is why what I think
yeah,
why
yeah.
this
I meant
has
that.
to be this." Yeah.
Well,
Um,
I think it's just like you tap into this kind of, I think this like almost like this generational angst, of this like not sure, if I could trust anyone anymore. I mean, I think this is a really pervasive feeling, that
Absolutely.
young people have. So I think it's so brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the what do they say? They say fact these days is stranger than fiction. It's just like
Oh,
what's going to happen next.
yeah,
It's crazy, and ever since I guess the rise, the slow creep that you don't realize of fake news, going back to like
yeah,
not too political, but going back to the first Trump presidency, and
yeah,
it's like
yeah.
from that point onwards, it was like it was all
It's
WikiLeaks,
just all bets are off. Yeah,
everything just got madder and madder.
yeah,
I'm not sure I can trust anyone anymore.
yeah. Exactly,
But then,
exactly. Perfect. Yeah,
it works on many levels. But
yeah. Can you read the lyrics for
yeah,
us?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Sure, I do have the lyrics. Do you have? I'm terrible. See, look, I don't perform live. And that's probably going to be one of your questions if I've got any dates or whatever. But not because I can't remember my own lyrics. Of course, if I sang a
No,
lot of them.
I'm right with you, man. I'm in fact, my brain just got a whole lot worse, so I actually have just been to the neurologist, and because I have a minor brain injury actually.
Right.
But yeah, mine just kind of got worse. So I've been to the neurologist, and now Tuesday I'm getting a whole, MRI,
Oh,
everything
right.
to look at my brain, see what's going on. Yeah.
Jesus, my partner had that. She wouldn't find the noise inspiring for music, but I said I would because there's always bang, clanging industrial noises that
Oh,
terrify
and the
me.
MRI. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I've never actually had one before,
Me neither, but
but yeah, it doesn't sound pleasant.
well, she's got ADHD, so she's very sensitive to noise anyway. I could probably just block it out.
Yeah, and it's hard to sit still also for if you have that as well, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's sorry, I'll read the lyrics. Sorry, I just it's
Yeah,
cut
yeah.
off, but it does feel like being buried alive. My partner said, being in MRI, not to scare you, but
No, yeah.
oh dear.
Sounds like a Blood Twin song.
It does, doesn't it? Watch this space. The next one's coming. But, yeah, so that's the thing with this. Before I start reading it, I it's in two different parts. So like obviously verse and chorus, and it's very much that. With the verses, it's very much inspired by like these little dark stories that
Mm,
I had in my head of like I said, a lot of She Wants Revenge songs sound a bit like that, and I like the play on the he and the she, and because you get these bands, you got She Passed Away, She Wants
mm,
Revenge, say it again, She Pleasures Herself as a band.
mm.
Yeah, so I don't know, I just went with that, with these dark little stories, and I don't know why they came to mind, but I'll shut up now and I'll read the lyrics. And then you can like interject and say, "What's that about?" And I'll try
Yeah.
and help you understand my brain. So he was sucking on the end of a gun, but he was only looking for fun. He was dancing on the edge of a knife, but don't you know he was only trying to get him some life. So again, it's like suicidal thoughts. It's not from personal experience, although
Yeah.
I have been there, but not often. Maybe a couple of times in my life, and I never thought of blowing my head off with a.
Well, it reminds me a little bit of like this, like you said, this like this dark kind of a dark wild romance like Natural Born Killers or True Romance or something like that. You know what I mean?
I mean, I was kind of, I don't know, like I was the image I had in my head was obviously, I don't know, it was kind of set in LA, like I keep saying the band's name, but yeah, like I don't know, I just had these like kind of like lynching almost.
Yeah, like little vignettes kind of thing
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something. Yeah,
Tim Burton. Have you ever read that book,
yeah.
Oyster Boys and Other Stories? It's like basically like grim tales for kids kind of thing. It's like,
Mm,
this isn't for
yeah,
kids,
yeah,
it's for
yeah.
adults. But yeah, sorry. But and with the chorus, I was inspired by like Nietzsche. Is that how you say it? Nietzsche? I listen to so many different bands and never know
Mm.
how to say it. The other day, I only found out that it's not Clan of Equinox, it's Clan of Zymox. Anyway, yeah, sorry. So like, it was like the Marshall Industrial.
Mm.
That's the vocal
Okay.
element that I was going for. I was like, if I mixed Marshall Industrial with this kind of cool goth hip kind of
Like
2000s
dark rock kind of thing. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
mixed with the 80s, I don't know.
Mm.
I overthink it, but yeah, sorry. So I'm not sure anymore. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I believe anyone. I believe anyone anymore. Anyone anymore anymore. I just, wanted to play Let It Groove. So it's very
Mm.
simple.
Yeah,
It's very simple lyrics. I'm not sure anymore. I believe anyone anymore is the shortened version. But
yeah.
it's like I just enjoyed the joy of shouting, screaming.
Yeah.
I don't know, you know,
Yeah.
just enjoying it, let it groove, you know. I
Yeah,
think,
it's very organic sounding. It's just
yeah,
like, yeah, I mean, like I said, it kind of reminded me of like Jim Morrison, kind of just like, you know,
yeah.
grooving along with the Doors and yeah.
I see. Didn't even occur to me that, but you saying that, I'm like hearing Jim Morrison in my head and thinking, yeah, that is maybe that's where I got a little bit of inspiration too. You know, break on through to the other side. You know,
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to break down a wall, like I don't know, musically, sonically, just I don't know, trying to communicate. But
Mhm.
shall I go on?
Yeah, go on.
So she was dangling at the end of a noose, but don't you know she was only trying to cut loose? I mean, I'm trying to have fun with it.
Hmm.
It's a very dark subject, but I don't know. I've got a sixth sense of humor.
Hmm.
But it's obviously serious, but at the same time, I guess it's like this goth way of looking at things, you know, like
Mm.
the
A little
worst.
dark sense of humor. Yeah.
Yeah, but in my opinion, British humour is very much like that. We have this saying, and I believe it's like a Liverpudlian saying where it originated. If you don't laugh, you'll cry. It's like
Mm.
it's like if you don't make fun of the situation, you will. You know, it's a way of coping with trauma. You know,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
you know,
That's how I got through this whole last year.
yeah. Fair enough. No. I mean, okay, I was trying to have fun with the pain, like trying to find the pleasure in the pain, like
Yeah.
with the words, you know, and just.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah, being
I
a
don't
bit
know.
playful. Yeah.
Yeah, I just had these different images of. It wasn't like a set out. All right, let's think of some ways to kill yourself, and but it just kind of came, and then it did a bit. It was like, okay, I did think, right, well, I did the first verse was he. It's very formulaic, but I thought I could play with it and enjoy it and let's go with it. And it was all like he, then she. So she was playing with the traffic at night, but don't you know she was only trying to step into the light? And then that line was very much like, you know, I was amazed to hear that you had a near death experience. I mean, I'm not saying that you saw the light. I don't know. We haven't spoken about it or anything, but
Yeah. No, I didn't see anything, unfortunately. Yeah.
oh, well,
Yeah. So I always joke that I even failed at my near-death experience, you know.
but the world's just so crazy now, though. Like, um, that you can kind of feel like, you know, it's like playing with a knife because you're not bored but frustrated, and you're just like, I don't know. Sorry, getting back to that line though, and when I had that line, step into the
Mm.
light, I thought of Poltergeist, yeah,
Mm.
step into the light, Caroline,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Well, I'm taking the piss out of my own song, but
Caroline.
what I'm saying to you is, it's like I thought, yeah, that's really cool. Step into the light. I'm going to use that later on, and on the bridge, I do, and it's very simple. I'm just repeating lines, so it's like obviously the chorus is the same, but when we get to the bridge, it's just like step into the light. It's very simple, just repetition. But
Mhm.
you know, using that repetition makes it more. Oh, I don't know what I'm trying to say. For someone who writes songs,
But kind of drive like just like driving that point home or driving that theme home.
yeah,
But and then two, it gives you also when something's repeated, I find, especially when the music is changing underneath it, it allows you to reflect on that line in different ways, you know.
yeah, exactly, yeah. It's like a reflection on society. This song, like you know, with the whole "not sure" like we spoke
Mm.
about, but
Yeah.
I think people are also trying to like come to terms with the world and trying to cope, and that's kind of like I don't know. It's just like kind of this fascination with the morbid and how can I put it, with life and death, and
Hmm.
it's just questioning. It's not like committed to anything,
Yeah.
you know. So even though I'm explicitly describing scenes like they were jumping off the edge of a cliff, but don't you know they'll make such beautiful stiffs. Again, I'm trying to be humour in it. I don't know why. That's just how I am. Like, they were goners for sure. Too dead to revive is quite important. But don't you know, in life, they never really felt that much alive. So it's like,
Mm.
they're not going to miss the
Yeah,
life. It's
yeah,
like, I don't know. These are fictional characters anyway. So it's,
yeah.
even though obviously, in
But it's like a yeah,
like,
it's like a little goth love story or something. I mean, that's what I always loved about goth because I mean, this idea of goth kids, like going and hanging out in a cemetery or something like that.
yeah,
Most people like don't want to talk about death or even, just like don't even mention it. Yeah, I'm gonna
yeah,
die someday, but don't let's not talk about it.
yeah.
Whereas like the goths will be like, let's talk about it.
If you talk about it, it makes it like, it
Let's go
makes it
sit on
less.
a gravestone and talk about it.
If you talk about it though, I guess it makes it less scary. I mean, to
Yeah,
me,
I think
death
so.
is kind
Yeah.
of scary. I mean, I wouldn't want to die right now, and I'd be scared for sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure about that. But it's kind of like we. It's also like we live in a simulation. It's like, I don't know whether that's true or not, but it's an idea, right?
Mhm.
And what will happen? What would happen if um, I was to walk off that cliff? Like, sorry to keep quoting your previous people who've been on the show, but it just comes to my mind right now. Someone
Mm.
said you could have, I don't know who said it, but you could have died a million times. Um, and this is one of them or something. But it's true. I think it was something like we're still alive, which is quite amazing because
Mm.
there's so many times when you might have died if something had been slightly different, slightly wrong.
Mm. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
don't know. It's just kind of tempting fate. It's kind of like the last verse is like I was running the car engine at home. I mean that I don't know how obvious it is, but then at least people can think about what the hell's he on about. I'm talking about like sucking on the exhaust pipe from a gas hose,
Mm.
but it's not really. Maybe it's not obvious. And then, but my soul was only on loan. Um,
Mm.
Again, it's like that kind of preoccupation, maybe of death, or I don't know, life was shitty, and
Yeah.
I don't
A
know. I was
little like
always thinking,
metaphysical philosophy there as well. Yeah.
hmm, uh,
With
and
the soul on loan.
sorry, last bit was I was spinning in a whirl, painting the house red, but don't I only followed the voice in my head. And then I get on to 10, 11, the voice in my head. That's like, counting just this voice in your head. The voice told me to do it, because
Mm.
people have voices, and even if we're talking about gut feelings, that's in a way kind of you get
Mm.
pushed down a certain road. But yeah, sorry, spinning in a whirl, painting the house red, that's like slitting your wrist and blood kind of
Mm.
spinning around in a mad kind of frenzy. But yeah, human stuff. The last bit after I don't know why, like I don't know why being a goth, but I just got this vampiric kind of inspiration. To me, it was the vampiric scene,
Okay. Yeah.
uh, walking under the scorching sun.
Mm.
So I was kind of thinking about, vamp the cliche of vampires, like supposedly under the sun, you melt. Well,
Yeah.
in this, it was like we turn to ash, watching as our skin turns to ash, but it's not but it says our heavy deathlock hearts beat on and on and on and on and on and on.
Mm.
Again, repetition. But it's kind of like even though we are
Burnt to ash.
exactly
We
our
still
hearts somehow
our
still.
love goes on. Yeah, it's romantic. Yeah.
It's like Celine
Yeah.
Dion, I think.
Yeah.
We're gone. But and then the last two lines, I don't know. When I was writing it was the start of the fires in LA, and
Mm.
I just felt like saying it's a stupid thing. Like, what can one artist do? It was just like kind of put this positivity into the world. It's a stupid thing, but I just thought I felt it and I thought it put out the fire. everyone is trying
Mm,
to put out the fire. They're doing their best to put out the fires, but I
mm,
just put out the fire. And I nearly went with extinguish, but then I went with extinctum because it felt more in keeping with the whole song, even though, a flame is extinguished is a metaphor for people dying, someone's flame being snuffed out. But
mm.
that's the lyrics, and I'll shut up.
Yeah, yeah.
I talk a lot.
Yeah, well, I think it's a love song. Well, it's yeah, I mean, it's kind of like a love song. There's just this it's like, you have these romances, I think when it reminds me of like young goth romance or something, where you have this you and me against the world thing, and we can't trust anyone else, and fuck the man, and
It
and
does kind of,
let's play with knives, and
yeah, it does have that kind of juvenile, but no, not like making, looking down on it. But yeah, it does have that kind of playful, maybe, I don't know, teenager, post-teenager, kind of young
yeah,
adult kind of
yeah,
feel.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
what you said is kind of what was there subconsciously.
Mm.
Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's definitely an accurate interpretation in
So
some.
let's talk a bit about the remix, because this is like all the things that we talked about were like the main things in this song kind of got stripped away in the remix
Yeah,
process, right?
yeah. So I know you didn't ask me, but I'm going to say anyway. I was approached by the Ghost Aura um,
Yeah.
because, like a lot of artists, I mean, I've only started recently musically with this project in September, and as I said,
Hmm.
I don't know, maybe February of last year, maybe a year. And I find a lot of people on Instagram, there's a big, good community we've got going. And shout out to Claudia Blackstar and the Stat because they're like, and yourself, so generous with sharing other people's music, and it's
Mm.
great.
Yeah,
But
she's wonderful. Yeah.
that's going on, and all of a sudden, I keep seeing the Ghost Aura popping up here and there. I was like, oh, that's really interesting. So I'm listening to the music, and I'm like, wow, this is cool. I like this.
Mm.
See, I like that's the thing. I like all types of alternative music, really, and all
Hmm.
types of different goth music, especially. So she approached me, and she really liked my stuff. She said, so I was
Oh.
flattered because I liked her stuff. And yeah, I said, do whatever the hell you want to do with it. Make it your own. I said, I don't care. I said, I'm really flattered that you like it,
Yeah.
and and she said, yeah, like because I can hear like some of your music and like Sister Mercy. I was like, yeah, that's a big influence. I don't know whether so much on this song, but who can? I don't try and analyze it. I don't, even though that's what we're doing here. But anyway, so I said, do whatever the hell you want with it. I said, cut it up, chop it up. I'd love to hear what you got. Bring
Mm.
it. And she did. She stripped like I sent her the stems and in the end, I think she only really used the drums as like a basis,
Mm.
not a bass, but as a start,
Yeah,
and
it's
the
like a structure. Yeah.
vocals,
Yeah, and the
uh,
vocals. Yeah.
and the vocals, and obviously she said I'm gonna do my own synths and have it in the same kind of key so it fits the vocals. And wow, I was blown away with what she came up with.
Mm. It must
But
have been so
then,
fun to hear. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, the first time anyone's remixed my track as well, any of my tracks. So that's cool. Always seem to remix it myself with a twin mix as the B side because I got another idea. Like days after, like once, one of the tracks, I can't think, maybe it was not No Place to Hide.
Mm.
I'd already submitted it to the distributor. I'd always,
Mm.
sent it off.
Yeah.
But then, like the day after, I was like, yeah, what if I tried this? What if I tried that? And like tinkered with it, I was like, I'm going to release a twin mix. And then it kind of happened to be the first two singles I did a twin mix. And then I didn't have anything for this one. I was like, maybe it'll come to me a couple of days afterwards. And nothing came, but not that I have to have a remix at all. I could, but it was just luck and really cool. She played it to me and then she tinkered with it a bit more because she actually wasn't happy with it. even though I was completely happy with it.
Mm.
But then when she improved it, I didn't think it could be improved, and it was.
Yeah.
And then I think I said, "Oh, could you put in those two lines at the end? Extinctum, put out the fire, extinctum." Apart from that, I gave them no notes. You know, I said it's your thing. I want to hear your version of it. I was, as you say, yeah, in the UK, chuffed. You know,
Mm.
really, really happy, really pleased,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
yeah, really happy with the results. And we never met. That's the great thing about this Instagram community.
Mm.
Um, she lives in London. Do you know what I'm saying? It
Oh,
says,
really? Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Comes from Mexico and lives in London. And we never met, but then I'm a bit of a hermit. So, yeah, one day that would be great. We'll meet up. But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and I said, we both said, I don't know if I meant to say this, but I said, you know, I would love to remix one of your tracks one day, maybe. And she said, yeah, that'd be great. I said, but not now because I want to focus on releasing my singles and my album. Once I've done that, I feel a bit zen, you know, I feel like, oh, I can relax now. I don't know. That's just, I'm very driven in that
Yeah.
one direction at the
You have
minute.
a vision for that. Yeah,
Selfish,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
I've got to do my own stuff to get out.
So the plan is you're going to keep releasing a few more singles and then collect them
Yes,
in an album with a few new ones, or is it the album going to be a collection of
well,
all singles?
yeah, I'm strange. So most people release their singles and their B-sides or not B-sides, just singles. I mean,
Mm.
some people just release singles, like you know, Dark, for instance, quite an inspiration. But I thought every 10 singles, that's a collection, like a photo album. That's an
Mm.
album, you know,
Yeah.
that's what it comes from. I thought, even though there's nothing new on there, you don't always capture something when it comes out as a single.
Yeah,
So that's
exactly.
why,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, you see the album, it catches your eye, I'm like, oh, I hadn't heard this. Even though most people who are probably looking at it when it does come out, um,
Yeah.
you know, it's just going to be a collection of that. But I've got a single coming out on the 29th of March already, so I've got a plan for that.
Oh,
I'm not,
cool. Exciting.
I'm not normally very. I just do what I want. You know, I don't have a plan. I'm very chaotic. Not
Okay.
chaotic, but I find the time when I can, and I release it when I can. But I try, you know, once every month if I can, or once every 6 weeks. But it ends up being longer or shorter. But anyway, so on the 29th, my next single is going to be called Was It a Dream? Which is kind of, in some ways, the themes we've been talking about, but not. Anyway, and that's coming out on the 29th, which is a Saturday, because it's coming out at 10 minutes past midnight, uh, Phoenix, Arizona time, which I believe is it Mountain? Damn, I always get confused. There's so many time zones in the States, and there's
Mm.
some that I know pretty well, some that I
Yeah.
don't. But yeah, it'll be coming out because they're going to have the like play the premiere. They're going to premiere
Oh,
at the club.
nice. Oh, cool.
So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So because every month it's called Bats in the Attic. I don't know if you know about this club. It's in Phoenix,
No.
Arizona,
Yeah.
and it's great. It's in like this old haunted house that's a coffee shop during the day, and once a month they take it over completely. It's DJ Tripwire, spelt with two V's instead of a W,
Oh,
and
wow.
DJ Tamageddon, and they run Bats in the Attic. They approached me and they
Oh,
said, "Can we feed it?" Sorry, Scott.
that's cool. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's gonna be good. I'm still working on it. I've got a deadline, but yeah, I may finish that up in the next week because I've got to get. See, that's the thing. I don't really do physical media, but I've just started with this Elastic Stage. They do it to order. Um, so I'm going to be sending a vinyl out there because they're going to do a giveaway, a raffle, and someone's going to win a signed vinyl.
Oh,
If they
cool.
it, they will. And a T-shirt, which is this was the test print. Anyway, it didn't come out
Yeah,
great.
that's gorgeous. Are you going to sell them on Bandcamp as well?
Um, I'm
T-shirts?
going to sell them, but
Or in Spotify?
maybe on Redbubble. I'm not sure. It's quite expensive Redbubble, but I mean, I don't know. I got a to begin with, I think just Redbubble and see how it goes. I mean, if there's any other ways of making them cheaper for the customer and where I can make something, even if it's like a couple of pounds.
Yeah.
But it's hard. It's hard, like
Yeah.
with Redbubble because they charge you fees and anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as people are advertising it by wearing it, that's good.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for agreeing to do this, you know. I was I was like wanted to have you on the show, and then you're like, I'm not sure.
I'm not
Maybe all
sure.
right, yeah. Oh no.
Well, it's because I'm a very private person for
Yeah.
someone who's an artist who used to be an actor
Yeah.
who gave that all up.
Yeah.
Not famous or anything like that, but yeah. So I just like my private life with my partner and our two dogs, and like people are going to be pointing down the street anyway and go, "Oh, that's blood twin." I don't know. What a big head I have. No, I just prefer to remain anonymous and at the
Yeah,
moment
no,
just
that's cool.
be a recording artist. So
Well, you're quite delightful. It projects through the mask even, so
thank you.
I
Even
really enjoyed having you on here.
that's been
And
great.
yeah, and I'm a fan, man. I'm really excited about whatever's coming next, and yeah, love. I'm not sure, man. Really, really great song.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But likewise, I love your music. I love, the stuff you do with hex forms. If that's how I say it, is it hex
Oh
forms?
yeah, Hex Forms. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I never
Hex
asked him
forms.
actually. Yeah, yeah. No, but it's funny with this Instagram how you just could
Yeah.
reach out to people, you know, because
Right.
well, you know what was behind that whole thing, right? What
Yeah. Yeah.
you had
Yeah.
initially, yeah, written
Yeah.
to me about, and
Yeah.
so that was, yeah, that was for like it felt good to do that song for this, yeah, the witch's coven of Instagram that ran into this bad dude that you talked about.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we
Yeah.
don't even want to give him the time of day.
No. 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 No.
Um,
But that's
but
a
yeah,
community. That's a
it's, I mean,
community.
that's why I do this song too, is I just want to meet people, you know what I mean? I love their music, and I thought, oh, I can just like whoever I want to meet, I just ask them if they come on the show, and they do, and you know, and then you always have a connection with this person, you know, just like with doing collaborations as well. It's just like
Yeah,
it's you can always ask people, and it's like you get the courage up to actually ask, and usually it's a yes, you know, and it's and then you have like you keep forming this kind of network, you know, and it's so cool.
it's great. I really appreciate being on the show. And it wasn't that I didn't want to come on the show, just to say, just I didn't know what
But
guys,
how
because
to do it, yeah, how
yeah,
to do it.
exactly. And I can't.
Well,
This
I hope I can have you on again when your next single comes out, and we'll see. Who knows if we'll get this same guys? Maybe there's another guys. You know,
who knows?
people have to tune in and see what guys comes. Well, thank you so
I'm
much, man.
laughing underneath this. You can't tell, but
It's great to meet you.
great to meet you, Scott. Thank you so much for having me on the show, and take care. Speak to you.
Thank you.
Peace.